Hello and welcome to this tutorial in my Toolkit. In this video, I want to introduce you to the visualizer. And to do that, I'm going to use two images, the T1 weighted and T2 weighted axial MRI images. So I'm going to load them into the workflow and hit spacebar. Now to send them to the visualizer, I can either highlight the node and right click and select visualize, or I can select the node and go down here to the visualize button. So I'm going to do that for both images to send them to the visualizer. This is the visualizer. In this panel, you can see the images that you have loaded into the visualizer. And here we have the T1 and T2 weighted images. We can view them by drag and dropping onto any viewport that we like. I'm going to put them side by side like this. Now, as you can see, there are 4 viewports that we're not using. So I'm going to disable those using this controller over here. I can just right click on any viewport that I don't want to see. That looks a lot better. Okay, so now we've selected this viewport. And in this panel, we see what image is loaded into that selected viewport. You can see that we have the T2 weighted image loaded, and in this one we have the T1 weighted image loaded. So I'm going to fuse the T2 weighted image on top of the T1 weighted image. And I can do that simply by drag and dropping the T2 weighted image into this viewport and selecting fuse. Now we see that we have 2 images in this viewport. And the first image here, the T1 weighted image, is the background, and the T2 weighted image is the foreground or the fused image. Now I want to window the images. So I'm going to select the T1 weighted image first, and I'm going to go down to the histogram here. This controller sets the upper level of the window, and this controller sets the lower level. I can shift the entire window by clicking inside the window and just moving it back and forth like this. I'm going to do the same thing for the T2 weighted image. There we go. But the T2 weighted image doesn't really pop in this image now. So I'm going to select another color map. So I make sure that the T2 weighted image is selected in this panel, and I'm going down here, click on maps, and I'm going to select the Inferno color map. So now the T2 weighted image is shown in color, and the T1 weighted image is shown in black and white. Finally, I want to change the opacity of the T2 weighted image. And this is done using the controller down here. So here you can set the opacity depending on the intensity level of the T2 weighted image. So as you can see now, we've set the dark pixels in this window level to completely transparent, and the brightest pixels in this window level to completely opaque. We can change this around however we want, and we can even add control points like this by selecting this one, clicking the plus sign. So we can make any opacity that we want to. We can even select a control point that goes down again. So that's about it for this video. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.